What's up everybody, I am Lucifer. I'm just an aspiring guitar maker here on YouTube, and I'm documenting all my builds for entertainment and educational purposes, both for you guys and myself. Because a lot of you guys are real smart in the comments, and if you watch my videos, you give me pointers on things that I'm doing a little silly, and a light bulb goes off and it's like, ding! That's super smart, and I really appreciate that comment. So, us guitar makers out here on YouTube, we have strength in numbers, and this is a really supportive community, so I love being a part of it. So, anyway, I was on the Crimson Guitars Discord the other day, yesterday, and you know, I was just conversing with the regulars on there, because there's always regulars on there, and this Veneer topic came up by people that actually haven't worked with veneers before, so I have, and I'll share what I know and what I learned from this one guitar that I've tried them on. If you're not on the Crimson Guitars Discord and you're also an aspiring luthier, as myself, then you gotta get on there, because there's a lot of people at a lot of different levels of guitar building, and there's a lot of knowledge being shared. All of us together equal like a mega Ben Crow. It's true. And big shout out to Creeverai, I believe, for putting the Discord together, because it's a real sick place to be. Anyway, this video is on working with thin veneers. Mainly dyed veneers. So if you've been following along this build series, you know that I've been using an absolute ridiculous amount of veneers. Here's just the neck. Can you see it? Sorry, this camera don't like focusing. There we go. Got veneers in the neck that way. Come on, focus, you dirty. I got veneers here, veneers there, veneers in the body, veneer everywhere. And I actually found success working with them. My second try. Go check out my Guitar Maker's Nightmare video if you want to see what happens, or can happen, if you neglect this small little step. So, yeah. Let's get into this. So we have a piece of black dyed poplar veneer. I'm assuming poplar is like the brand of veneers, of dyed, or whatever. I think. But either way, this is poplar, and I know it's a very common veneer. This is actually the note point very thin. I don't do numbers. It's a thin veneer. But anyway, you can see this is a brand new piece, untouched. In the light, you could see that sheen going on there. Kind of. Anyway, so on my first attempt, I just glued it together as is. I bought it from the store and glued her up. Didn't work. I actually asked Ben Crow himself at the Crimson live stream what could possibly have gone wrong, and he's told me he's had a neck delaminate because of not dealing with your veneer before installation. So I'm going to show you guys what I did to achieve success. Like exactly what I did. Because I've never really seen it explained on the internet before. Here we go. Alright, so we're over here on my router table, which is the only cleared off flat surface in the workshop, so therefore it's a workbench. And we got the two tools we're going to need. Paper towel, and our Crimson leveling beam, with 240 grit on it. Alright, so first off, we are going to take a piece of paper towel, and we're going to give her hell. We're going to evenly give her hell all over the thing. and you can see what's going on here. That's all excess dye coming off, which apparently adhesives aren't friends with. And Gorilla Glue, I know for a fact, is not friends with it. So we're gonna keep doing that. I've never tried cross grain. That might take more off. Alright, yeah, anyway. You can see there's a lot of excess dye on there. Excess dye, sorry. Alright, anyway, so we do that for a little bit with our thing. Then we take our 240 grit sandpaper. I tried 320 actually, and it seemed like it smudged a lot. So the 240 and a very light touch worked for me well. So now we're gonna very evenly and very, very lightly give this surface a sand. And I'm just using the weight of the leveling beam. I am giving her no pressure at all. I'm just using my hand to move it. You don't want to give pressure because the wood's so thin that you could probably sand down low spots in it. And you don't want that. So just very evenly go across and sand it until you have no sheen. Alright, cool. So I got that step done. I'm going back to my paper towel. And I'm getting that all off. Very cool. Oh, there still looks like there's sheen, but it's very dull. In the light, from the lights in my shop, there still is sheen, but looking straight at it, it's dull. It's really dull. That's kind of what you want. So, I noticed the first time I did it, there was smudging from excess ink. So that first step of wiping the ink off before the sanding really helps. I use 240, but if you do that with the wiping off and then use 320, that actually might work pretty good. But I found success, I used 220. I actually used 240 the first time, but I'm using 220 now. I don't think there's a huge difference. Well, anyway, after you wipe that off, you will see it being really dull. If there's any like super shiny sections, I would hit that part again very lightly and then very lightly go over all of it because you don't want thin sections. Well, you do want thin sections, that's why it's veneer, but like you don't want to thin the veneer out to nothing. So anyway, after I did that, wiped it off, I went back to the sandpaper and I very lightly used the weight of my crimson leveling beam, or your 2x2 or whatever you got your sandpaper mounted to. I just bought these because I'm a massive fanboy of Ben Crow and a huge Crimson supporter. I love what they're doing for the world. And yeah, I honestly want to be Ben Crow when I grow up. So very lightly, evenly, going back across it, making sure not to give any pressure to sand through it. Now she's scuffed up. So when I found success after I wiped it off and then sanded again, I didn't wipe it off again. I didn't want to smudge any ink back in, but I just gave her a bluer on. So like, any surface dust that came up just gets blown off. I would use a compressor if I had one down here and it wasn't loud as fuck, and Mom would get mad, but compressors are loud, so I just blew it off, and there we go. It's kind of dull. That's the only steps I really took, and I found success with my glue up. So that's all I did, gang. So yeah, that's all I did. And this neck is staying together now. The body's all good. The veneers came out. Everywhere I used veneer, the second try, I did this step, and it seems to be holding up. So I think that's good enough. If anyone watching this knows better, know better in the comments. And you won't hurt my feelings. I will only learn. Unless you're being a super big asshole, then my feelings aren't getting hurt. I'm just retaliating and saying something back because you're a jerk. I'm just kidding. I've had no assholes yet. This is great. But yeah, this is for you know who you are, the two of you that we were having this conversation the other day, and I said I'd make a video. This is all I did. I wish you guys the best of luck working with veneers in your projects, because they just bring it to life. That pinstriping is just next level of, wow, that looks sharp. It looks sharp. It's awesome. Veneers are a lot more work in a build, like a lot more glue. If you don't have that much glue left, you stock up on glue, because you don't realize how much you actually use with veneers glued on both sides in a build. It looks like just a pinstripe, but it's, yeah. And I use locating pins for glue ups. If you have excess area to fire in locating pins, or areas that will be covered up by like a fretboard or whatever, use them, because when you do this glue up, the veneers slide all over the place. Also learned that on my second or third try. But yeah, here you guys go. I really appreciate you guys watching. Follow along the carved top telly build. Actually, I shouldn't even be showing this because I haven't even showed the carving episode yet. It's not done being edited, but this conversation came up before I got done editing, and I said I'd make a video. And yeah, another tip, if you're buying veneer or whatever, even though it's so thin, I would still let it climatize to your wood shop. So all you GGBOers, buy your veneers now, because I want to see how dope your pinstriping looks. Yeah, that's all I got, gang. Love you guys. Have a good one. Best of luck.